Ami, Elo, Niga. Me Call this meeting to order. Councilman Joe Crittenden, would you be...
Stand. Heavenly Father, again, I want to thank you for this day of life you've blessed us with. Thank you, Father, for bringing us together to this place safely. Thank you for each council person that's here this evening. Thank you for our guests and our employees. Father, thank you for this great country that we live in, this state and this tribe. I pray, Father, you'll continue to bless us. Help us, Father, be willing to be led. Help us have patience. Help us as a government be transparent, that we keep the best interests of the people at hand at all times. And Father, for our troops tonight, I would pray that you'd watch over them, those in harm's way across our globe, and those that are in homes, that are in shut-in situations or have lost loved ones. You know all about all of our problems, Father, and you can touch us as no one else can. I pray that you would do that this evening. Go with us now. Help us do good work for our people and forgive us where we fail. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you very much, Mr. Crittenden. Roll call.
Bill Anglin.
Here.
Bill John Baker.
Here.
Jack Baker.
Here.
Harley Buzzard.
Here.
Julia Coates. Here. Bradley Cobb. Joe Crittenden.
Here.
Jody Fishinghawk. Here. Meredith Fraley. Here. Janelle Fulbright. Here. Don Garvin. Chuck Hoskin Jr. Tina Gloria Jordan. Present. Curtis Snell.
Here.
Chris Soap.
Here.
David Thornton. Kara Cowan Watts.
We have a quorum. Next order of business is approval of the June 15 regular session minutes.
Approval. Second.
Moved and second that the minutes be approved as written. Any discussion? Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The minutes stand approved as written. Next order of business is State of the Nation. Principal Chief Chad Smith. Your legs hurt?
Yeah.
Good evening. It's my privilege and honor to be in front of you this July 13th for the State of the Cherokee Nation. Thank you for allowing me to once again provide a snapshot of what's been happening in the Cherokee Nation this past month. And of course, as we have in many meetings past, honor those who have passed on, our loved ones and friends in this last month. Viola Still, Mother Frida Van from Webbers Falls, my wife's nephew Dennis No Fire, Francis Fields, Charles Hicks, Mary Keys, John Philip Henry, the son of Gwen Henry at CNI, Franklin Chewy, Ricky Bird, Johnny Bird, J.C. Davis, Woody Snell, Francis Fields, and Stephen Archie Mouse. Are there others that the council know of that we should acknowledge?
Yes, Annalee Downing, 92.
If you will, join me in a moment of silence in honor of these. What else?
We might also acknowledge that we lost 3 more from Cherokee County. Carrie Park, who is Kathy Morgan's daughter. Chooch Hare, Lucille Hare's son, and Sue Duck Hanlon, which
was a member of my church here, but I think she hailed originally from Adair County. Her maiden name was Duck, Texas Younger.
Thank you. Also tonight, we would like to honor veterans. We honor 3 this evening: Donald R. Scott, U.S. Army; Kenneth C. Mays, U.S. Army; and Philip Daugherty, U.S. Marine Corps. So let's begin with Mr. Scott. Donald Scott was raised in Cherokee County. After graduating from Tahlequah High School, he enlisted in the U.S. Army. He was in the Army for 3 years and served with the 4th Infantry in South Vietnam in 1968 and 1969. After his tour in the service, he returned to Cherokee County and completed his bachelor's degree in industrial technology, electronics and electricity from Northeastern Oklahoma University. He said that he always enjoyed talking of his Cherokee heritage with other Native Americans as he traveled the United States, hunting and fishing on tribal lands. Mr. Scott, would you come forward and let us recognize you, sir? Do you care to say a word, sir?
Yes, I'm honored to receive this. I'm proud of my heritage, proud of my service. I'd like to thank the chief and all the members of the council. Thank you very much.
Kenneth Mays was born in 1931 to Joe and Rose Mays in their homes at their home in the south of Blue Jacket. He graduated from Blue Jacket High School in 1949 and was a farmer before being drafted in the Army at the age of 23. He started at Fort Bliss and then was sent to Germany for a year and a half. In Germany, he was a truck driver, and his unit provided support for the military. He received the Good Conduct Medal, the European Medal, Defense Service Medal. He was discharged in 1956. Mr. Mays, please let us recognize you, sir.
Thank you.
Do you care to say a word?
Yes, I'm proud to be a Cherokee all the way. And I think we got a good chief here too.
We recognize also tonight Philip Daugherty to join the Marine Corps while a senior at Sepoy High School. He left for San Diego in 1966. After basic training at Camp Pendleton, he was deployed to Vietnam. Philip was assigned to the 1st Marine Air Wing as a mechanic and machine gunner on a helicopter. He was promoted to crew chief and flew over 800 Vietnam combat missions. He served in Vietnam from September 1967 to October of 1969 and was honorably discharged that October. He was awarded many military honors. Among them were the National Defense Service Medal, the Republic of Vietnam Campaign Medal, the Combat Aircrew Wings Air Medal, Meritorious Unit Commendation Gallantry Cross Color, Presidential Unit Citation, and the Navy Unit Commendation. After his service, with the support of his wife, Peachy, he got his associate's degree in nursing and a bachelor's degree as a paralegal at NSU. He is presently a registered nurse and resides in Sequoia County, Flute Springs area, and spends his off time golfing, raising cattle with family and friends. Mr. Daugherty, let us recognize you, please. Would you care to come down, Peachy, and sing the song? We have a very grateful nation. Appreciate your service. Would you care to say a word, please?
I want to thank you for asking me to come here, and I want to thank you all for the good job that y'all do, and don't forget the people out there that you represent. And again, I'm glad to be a Cherokee, and I stressed that in my time in the military, and I didn't realize being a Cherokee was so special. And one day I got a letter. I got a newspaper from here in Tahlequah, and one of my members there, co-workers and stuff, they seen it and they started laughing at the names, the naked head, double head, man killer, six killer, and I said, wait a minute, are you laughing at that, or are you laughing at the name, or why are you laughing? And they said, well, it's kind of humorous. So we got to talking, and there was a couple of Polacks there, and they had some so it kind of broke the ice. And from that day forward, I always stressed the fact that I was a Cherokee first, and I tried to represent myself in the best light, because I knew there was a lot of people not familiar with the Indians. And what they knew of the Indians was from the John Wayne movies. And this was in 68 and 69. So I hope I enlightened a few minds. And like I say, it was a good experience. And to this day, I don't forget that I'm a Cherokee. And I try to represent myself in the best light. And I want to thank Chief here for asking me to come in.
In program updates, the Cherokee Nation Commerce Department continues its mortgage assistance initiative to meet the growing needs of families having problems with personal finances. These services help homeowners prevent foreclosure. The Cherokee Nation's road staff are helping employees and residents with cost-effective transportation alternative. They're offering public transportation to people commuting between Sallisaw and Tahlequah, and new routes in Adair and McMays County. The fee is only $2 for a round trip. A list of all the stops, a total of 8, can be viewed on Cherokee.org. Our Marshal Service recently partnered with the U.S. Marshal's Office in a unique month-long fugitive apprehension effort that spanned 23 counties in Oklahoma. The Cherokee Nation Marshal staff that participated included Scott Craig, Mike Rees, Tony Asbill, and James Harper. Cherokee Nation's W.W. Hastings Hospital has added new beds and bedside tables in patient rooms, the intensive care unit, and in labor and delivery. These beds are some of the best in the industry with special safety and comfort features. Hastings is now only one of 3 hospitals in Oklahoma fitted with this new state-of-the-art hospital beds throughout the facility. Another announcement, President Barack Obama has selected Cherokee citizen Kimberly Teehee as a new senior policy advisor for Native American Affairs in the White House Domestic Policy Council. We all congratulate her on this important appointment. Our Human Services Group is holding a one-day seminar entitled Bridges Out of Poverty, Strategies for Professionals and Communities. The public will have the choice of attending the seminar tomorrow, Tuesday, July 14th, or Wednesday. It will be held at the Crescent Valley Baptist Church in Woodall. Attendees are in for a special treat because the seminar will be presented by one of the authors of the book. Our social service staff took the course some months ago and provides great insight in helping people deal with the challenges of poverty. The planning for the Cherokee National Holiday is in full swing, and we're accepting applications for Little Cherokee Ambassadors, Junior Miss Cherokee Leadership, and Miss Cherokee Leadership. The holiday office is also seeking vendors. For information, contact Lou Slagle at 453-5000. Our Tribal Youth Council asked for a minute of time this evening, and at this time I'd ask them to come forward and visit with us.
Thank you, Chief. Madam Speaker and Council, before we present this award, I wanted to take this opportunity to personally invite everyone to our Cherokee Woman of High Esteem banquet, July 25th at 6 o'clock at the Cherokee Casino in Catoosa. I'm sure you have received some emails about it. Wilma Mankiller and John Ketcher will be our keynote speakers. Tickets are $25 a person and $500 for corporate tables, and all proceeds will go to the John A. Ketcher Youth Shelter. So,
OCO. My name is Kinsey Shade. I am the District 1 representative for the Cherokee Nation Tribal Youth Council, and Christina is the District 2 representative. Recently, we just got back from a conference that we attended in Albuquerque, and it was a National Unity Conference. At this conference, we were able to network who we are as a tribe, and we were also able to express to other youth that were there, other youth councils that were there that participated about things that's going on in our communities involving our youth, like our meth problem that we have around in our communities. At this conference, because of the sponsorship that the Cherokee Nation did towards this National Unity Conference, we accepted an award on behalf of the Cherokee Nation, and we are here this evening to present this to you guys.
Thank you. On July 22nd, we're helping to dedicate the East-West 150 Bridge over the Will Rogers Turnpike in Ottawa County. The ribbon-cutting ceremony will take place at 10 a.m. On August 11th, we'll be hosting a banquet and award event to honor our local volunteer firefighters. The event will take place at the new Hard Rock Hotel and Casino at 6:30. You can contact Diana Turtle for this event as well. She can be reached at 453-5000. I wanted to visit with you briefly about a leadership event called Remember the Removal Bike Ride. If you recall, some 18 days ago, 9 young people and several staff started a trek to retrace the Trail of Tears in the northern route from Newachota, Georgia to Tahlequah. If you would like to join the last leg of that journey, riding a bicycle, the last stretch will be this Wednesday. You can join us at Speedy's at 11:30. We will ride into town, coming down Downing and Water Streets, and arrive at the Courthouse Square at noon. So please ride or cheer along the route. A hog fry will be served. So if nothing else is an incentive, that should be. But I want to just briefly tell you about some of the things that has occurred we have a slideshow, and let's just go ahead and show that, please. I don't quite understand what that last series of pictures was about. I can tell you my odometer reads 870 miles, and we all have stories. And my stories are we follow in a chain, in a column, and I'm the very last. And we have signals to point out road hazards. Well, apparently I didn't get the signal because there's a great big old rock like this. I hit it, and I flip, and I land in the ditch, bit my front rim, and the only damage I got out of that was poison ivy. Coming down a great hill off of the near Dayton, Tennessee, which is how we mounted the Cumberland Plateau. We were coming down that at about 35 miles an hour, which was very fast because it was a 3-mile ride up with 1,300 feet elevation. Coming down, got struck by a bee here. He stung me 6 times here and then went under my arm to sting me 6 more times. But we all had great stories. The only real injury was Sarah Holcomb. Instead of falling in the grass, she fell on the pavement and got about 5 or 6 stitches above her eye. Within a day or two, she was back riding again, and her mother, Sherry, rode the same trek 25 years ago. And we want to thank Jack Baker for being there at the initial part of the trip to tell about the historic properties. And so we all looked for things to learn along the trek, and about halfway through, our employees sent notes and letters of encouragement. And the one that I received, it said, "For Chief Smith, for your physical journey, I admire your positive attitude and belief that anything is possible. More than the physical challenge, I know the real motivation for your participation is to capture a glimmer of the understanding of what the journey was for our ancestors. For that, I admire you as a leader of the people." And we rode very hard. Going up the mountain at Dayton, we began to understand how difficult it was to walk that mountain under rock in wagons that just jolted your teeth out. There was the older and the younger that suffered the most in the cold of winter. But we were on bicycles, and so the route was smooth. And in the course of the event, Todd Enlow, who organized it, he says, we had something to look forward to at the end. I could go back to my children, my family. Our ancestors had nothing to look forward to. It was an endless journey to someplace unknown, not knowing where they were at. We had GPS and maps and all sorts of support, and we knew where we were going, and we knew when we were going to get there, and we knew there were loved ones waiting for us. But 170 years ago, our ancestors did not have that. And so the epiphany dawned on me at one place in Missouri on Spring Road. The pavement stopped, and it was a half mile or a mile to where the pavement began again. And we had to walk our bikes because gravel broke the tires. And if you know something about these bicycles, they're specially designed, and there's a shoe that's designed to clip into the pedal so you can get more out of your leg power. And those shoes have metal clips in them. And so as we walked our bikes at half mile, you could hear that metal clip hit the gravel. And it sounded like horses. And as there's about 12, 15 of us walking, you could hear that sound, that ambient sound that never went away, the sound of horses. Then you began to think about what it would sounded like with wagons jostling and jerking. And that was the ambient sound. And then there's cattle and horses going with you. And then above that ambient sound, what you could hear, almost as clear as a crystal bell, was old people moaning out of pain, and young children crying of hunger, of cold, of anxiousness of not having their loved ones to hold them. And then you add upon that the temperature, cold and dismal and wet. And upon that, the stench and the smell of the animals on that trail. And even though those that have passed may have not had the odor, we all understand that death has a spell to it. Out of that half-mile walk, became very clear that those who caused the Trail of Tears were the culprits, not us among the Cherokees that debated between the Ross Party and the Ridge Party as to what we should do. But the Indian Removal Act was passed by the narrow margin of 102 to 97. If there had been 5 more of the U.S. Congress had had any dignity or respect for human life, we may still have been in our home country. We may have not lost 4,000 on that trail where they cry. For that great epiphany and understanding, I thank all that have made that possible. Thank you very much. Widow.
Chief Smith, you are finished, aren't you?
I am.
Ms. Count Watts?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd like to make the motion to amend the agenda to add 6 new items, items 17 through 22, 5 coming from resources this afternoon, and 1 from education and culture to the agenda.
And second to amend the agenda. Any, Mr. Buzzer?
I want to also amend the agenda too.
A friendly
I think
amendment.
we may have missed one resolution that I did want to put on. And I may not see it on here, but the one I'm looking at is the one for the Internal Revenue Service. I don't see it on there.
It's here, it's number 19.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, that's good.
Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and items 17 through 22 will be added under new business. Next order of business, action of unfinished business. Last month, the majority of the Tribal Council members approved an amendment to the Tobacco Code providing for a $1.50 per carton rebate to border tobacco retail shops. The principal chief vetoed that legislation for various reasons, as stated in his enactment message included in the book. And our job tonight is either sustain or override his veto. Oh, Ms. Fishing Hawk?
Yes, as a courtesy to Councilman Hostin, I'm making a motion to table this to the August council meeting.
Second.
Moved in second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Mr. Hoskin is in Washington, D.C. on business. Next order of business is committee reports. The first one is Mr. Sutherland of the Housing Authority.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good to be here tonight. Housing Authority's regular board meeting for July will be the 21st, a week from tomorrow evening. As always, it's 5:30 at the Eileen Hogner Conference Room in the Administration Building. I think there'll be a light agenda. I haven't got an agenda out yet, but it will be a light one. We've been busy with the economic stimulus funds in our rehab and modernization departments. We have around 20 rehabs funded with stimulus currently underway. We have what will probably be the biggest single stimulus project out for bid right now, and that's the shingle replacement at our prior apartment complex. I think there's somewhere in the neighborhood of 52 buildings, which are almost all those are duplexes. So it's a pretty good sized contract that's going out. We have several other projects containing window replacement, roof replacement, insulation, installation. I don't know if I'd be able to say that or not. Along with several other work items. Those will be bid out in the next few weeks. I also want to update the council on the status of the paving and some of the housing additions we talked about last month's committee meeting. I hope to have the bids out and back this week. They're due the 21st. So that's just as quick as we could do it. Michael Lynn and his staff and Shelley McLean and her staff done a really good job getting that out and getting it back quick as they could. I was the one that threw the monkey wrench into the whole deal, but I think it's the proper thing, proper way to do it. And wish I'd have figured that out 60 days ago, and it would have been in better shape. But I'm not quite as quick as I used to be, I guess. There will be a bid opening that morning and award shortly thereafter. So hope to have the county commissioners working on those projects just real quick after that. That's my report for the evening. If you have any questions, I'll sure try to answer them.
Any questions from Mr. Sutherland? Comments? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next two reports are Mr. Stewart of Cherokee Nation Entertainment and Business. Thank you. Thanks for coming, Mr. Slayton.
Good evening, Council. Excuse me. Dave is out. He's taking a well-deserved vacation and left today about probably 3 or 4. So he asked me to sub in for him, and I'll try to do that. We'll start with Cherokee Nation Enterprises. In addition to our net income that we provide to the nation through a dividend, we also contributed $128,000 in tax collection for the month of May. The expansion projects some are winding down and some are starting up. We'll kick off the Hard Rock opening on August the 3rd. There's been some announcements that have been sent to each one of you, and we look forward to having you there for that. Toby Keith's is opening for business on July the 27th to the public, and I think everybody in Catoosa is excited to see that open. There'll be on August 3rd, there'll be a concert there with a group called Loverboy, and that will be held there in the new facilities. Many of the pieces of the memorabilia are on display. They look nice, and we've had a lot of compliments on what was put in there. At the other sites, Phase 2 is complete at West Siloam. Everyone moved into their offices in the month of June, and that really turned out nice. There's one piece that we're still working on, and that will be a meeting space up there that'll seat 300 to 400 people and allow them to host some of the events from some of the communities that they currently don't have space for. You'll see the steel on the hotels start to go up on approximately September 1st, so that's just right around the corner. And at Catoosa, we will break ground next week for the event center, and so we're looking at about a 1-year burn to get that up and going. So things are moving along. A lot of things are winding up. McGill's will be open up on the 19th floor. That's really going to be nice, and I think that is going to turn out to be something that we can, that whole facility, as proud as we are of what we've got now, we've really gone over the top with what we've delivered there. And if you get up on 19 and 18 and the Chief Suites and Hard Rock Suites on 16, 17, those are really nice, and I think the community is really going to appreciate what's been done there. In terms of jobs, we're sitting at 3,434. Cherokee percentage is 58.5, with other Native Americans at 11.3. And management level at 62.6% for Cherokee, and other Native Americans for 7.4, for a total right at 70% Native American. So we continue to work hard each month to improve that. That kind of concludes what I have on C&E. If you've got any questions about that, I'll try to answer them and move for a short report on C&B.
Questions for Mr. Slayton from Cherokee Nation Entertainment?
Yes, ma'am. I'm getting
I think
used
you said enterprises.
Trying to say that. It's going to take me a while, I'm afraid.
No questions. Go ahead.
Okay, it's C&B. I've been involved a little bit up there and watching what's going on. And there's a lot of work being done to try to organize and kind of get a joint partnership with the nation. And the nation's got a lot of good people here, and sometimes we don't always know who's doing what. And I think we formed some industry teams that are really going to help, and we appreciate the talent that we're getting on those teams from the nation, in addition to the talent that we're providing from C&B and C&E. Some of the operating highlights: Cherokee Resources has received 2 new large sole source contracts. That's our environmental company, and they're really excited about that, and I think those are going to turn out nice. APSC performance is exceeding their budget and continues to operate its Boeing contract on a month-to-month basis. And construction is continuing out at the landfill, and we hope to have that open just really soon. So I think things are looking good there. Future plans, CNB is working to ensure that chief's mandates are being met. We're going to roll out some shared service delivery to some of the subs that might not have some of the management tools that are available from CNE and actually CNB. And then we're working hard to come up with a few economic development and diversification programs. So that's my report on CNB. If anyone has a question on anything up there.
Questions or comments from Mr. Slayton? From CND? No?
Thank you, ma'am.
Good job, thank you. Mr. Collins, Brian Collins, Cherokee Nation Industries.
Hi, good evening, Council. Tonight I want to report on June results for the CNI and the companies managed by CNI. The current employee count for CNI in the local area is 493, with an 83% Native American employment. June revenue was $9.1 million, which put us at a year-to-date revenue of $64 million. Positive results for the month of a profit of $292,000, which brought our loss for the year down to $1.2 million. But we are seeing a lot of things changing in a lot of the divisions now. A lot of the results, it wasn't just in one segment. I know a lot of times there's been questions about where it's coming from. It was pretty much spread across, seeing each division having changes. Some definitely in the manufacturing, we saw the biggest push in manufacturing efficiency. So your patience, the results are coming in. So I appreciate that. For those that had the opportunity to come out in June to our 40th anniversary, I really appreciate that. For those that had conflicts in schedules and missed out, I'd like to extend a special invitation for you to come out, personally give you a tour, show you the things and the changes that are going on in the factory. If you haven't been in the factory in a while, I think you'll be surprised. I think you'd be quite impressed with what the employees have put together and how the image has changed. The new training center, the new production floors, the new shipping and receiving areas, just the entire image and the confidence and the pride that the employees are putting forward. And then we're also seeing that response coming back from our customers, giving us more opportunities to bid on larger things. So the image and overall positioning is really changing quite a bit in Stillwell, and it's having a great effect. So with that anniversary, we had approximately 1,000 plus people showed up for that event. And it was an all-day event. We had good barbecue, good music, good entertainment. We got to celebrate with the employee that's been there for quite some time, and gave out service awards to the employees, and in which all employees will be getting service awards that 1 year, 5 year, 10 year, 15. So, but we addressed the 10-year, 15, 25-year employees plus, and it was a great event. So I appreciate for those that did get to make it, and those that didn't, please, I'll probably be calling you and asking you to come over, and we'll go to Okie Joe's and have a little barbecue sandwich and show you the facility. Our next board meeting is this coming Saturday. It's our budget review meeting. We're going to do it on Saturday morning at Stillwell. Starts at 9 a.m. And so there at the Stillwell new boardroom, at 9 a.m. we'll do our budget review and June results review. So for the advisory council and then other council members that'd like to attend, I'd welcome that. That completes my report for June. Any questions?
Questions, comments for Mr. Collins? Ms. Kalmwatz?
Yes, thank you. I was honored to attend and fortunate, I felt like, just to be included, because I was late and only got to stay for a couple hours, but I really appreciate all that you guys are doing. I'm excited to hear results coming from that, but I never have to question the passion and the commitment that I see, especially now at all levels of CNI, at least from an outside perspective, to creating a family-type business within our community that really delivers professional results. And it was really cool to see the Sikorsky helicopter cabling and what they're actually building and constructing for different sectors of society that end up using that, like police helicopters or military. And it's exciting, and I'm very proud to know that the Cherokee Nation gets to participate in things like that. So thank you for including us and taking time to give tours, even if we were running off schedule. So thank you.
Any questions, comments? Thank you, Mr. Collins.
Thank you.
There being no old business, we move on to new business. Community services, items 1 and 2. Mr. Buzzard, did you want to present those in toto?
Yes, I'd like to do those in total.
There being no objection, continue.
Okay, the first item is a resolution authorizing the submission of rural housing economic development grant for renovation of the John A. Ketcher Youth Shelter and the addition of 3 single residence occupancy units. The second resolution is authorizing the submission of a grant application to the USDA for housing preservation grant. I'd ask for those to be approved.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Items 1 and 2 stand approved. Item 3 and 4, Mr. Soak, since Dr. Cobb and Mr. Hoskin are out, would you present those 2 items in toto, if you don't mind?
Sure, my pleasure. We have a resolution before us that is proposed to authorize the Cherokee Nation to submit an application to HUD. And these funds will be used to construct a facility in Nowata to house a Cherokee Nation food distribution site and an elder nutrition center. And the facility would be constructed on site where the Nowata Clinic formerly sat. And then subsequent to that, we have a proposal for a maintenance and operating policy for that facility. And I move for approval for those resolutions.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Items 3 and 4 stand approved. Out of Resource Committee, we have item 5. It's the legislation establishing a Cherokee Nation recycle program. Ms. Count-Watts?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This has been a long time coming, and it is an example of cooperation between the executive branch and the legislative branch, and I appreciate the patience of chief staff and the willingness to come forward and work. It's more than a recycle program, it's also a reduce and reuse program in addition to recycling, and to show through results the commitment on behalf of our tribe and our businesses to commit to these things. And there's a list of items that we will be doing. So I'm excited to be part of this. I think it's historic, and I make the motion to approve.
Second. Moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by, it's a roll call. Do you want to do it?
By acclamation, please.
By acclamation. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, item 6 is this resolution authorizes a restaurant lease at the Cherokee Nation Complex. Mr. Baker.
Yes, this is a continuation of the existing lease, but it came about because we were successful in getting the complex into trust, and so we have to tweak it for the BIA's approval, and I move for its approval.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 7 is a resolution that updates the Indian Reservation Roads Program, adding 17 projects. However, the resolution that's in front of you here, not the one in the book, but the one that's in front of you is the one that for consideration. That is Mr. Snell.
Yes, this resolution authorizing the BIA to update the nation's transportation improvement program to include the addition of 17 projects to the list of construction priorities. Indian Reservation Road funding. Move for passage.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, out of Rules Committee, we have items 8 through 13, which are confirmations of nominations. And Mr. Baker, did you want to present items 8 through 13 in toto, there's being no objection?
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. Yes, item 8 is a renomination of Johnny Earp to the Economic Development Trust Authority Board of Directors. And items 9 through 13 are resolutions confirming the nomination of 5 advisory committee members of the Cherokee National Treasures Program. And those 5 are Bill Endo, Alan Herron, Jane Osty, Lori Smiley, and Mary Horsechie. I make a motion that we approve all of those.
Second. Moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Items 8 through 13 stand approved. Okay, item 14, this resolution supports the appeal of Councilors Fishing Hawk and Jordan to have access to counsel of their choice and to the Cherokee Nation courts in the Smith versus Election Commission case. Ms. Jordan, did you want to present that?
Yes, this is a resolution authorizing the Cherokee Nation Tribal Council to support the appeal of Councilors Fishing Hawk and myself concerning our tribal councilors' right to individually have access to counsel of their choice and have access to the courts. I move for its approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Ms. Calm-Watts.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just want to clarify, I will be supporting this, but I am supporting their right to appeal, and I don't personally support the actual appeal or content or position of the appeal, just to clarify, because the title might be. Thank you.
Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, out of Executive and Finance Committee is item 15. This amendment authorizes modification 9 to the 2009 comprehensive budget. Mr. Jack Baker.
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
You have the floor.
This is increases our budget by $2,280,000, which includes contributions of $75,000, equipment for the Community Rec Center of $174,000, increase in the individual and community water and sewer of a program of $150,000, Terrell job training of $1,139,000, environmental protective services $48,000, mutual health operations $350,000, the Tribal Youth Council of $10,000, for a total budget authority of more than $574 million.
Mr. Buzzard?
Yes, I'd like to make a friendly amendment to this resolution to add $71,992.51 for the funding of the JTAG office located in Delaware County.
And I will accept that. And I make a motion that we approve.
Second.
And moved and seconded. Any discussion?
And by acclamation.
By acclamation. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 16, this resolution rescinds the authorization of a $300,000 loan to the Chilocco Benefit Association. Ms. Calm-Watts?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The intent of the body was to assist the Chilocco alumni and the folks rebuilding Chilocco and stabilizing it to provide resources. The commitment for the $300,000 loan became problematic for logistical reasons or technical reasons, and so in lieu of the loan, we still want to show our commitment, and we're providing a $25,000 donation outright to this group in the hopes that they succeed and will come back to us for further assistance. So I make that in the form of a motion.
Moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, today out of Resource Committee, we have item 17. This resolution authorizes a grant application for the development of an intertribal environmental council pesticides management program. Ms. Calm Watts?
Madam Speaker, if possible, could I do 17 and 18 in total? Thank you. They're both for the U.S. EPA for a grant for pesticides, training and such. One is for $71,000 for the Cherokee Nation, and another is for $100,000 for the Intertribal Environmental Council that we manage. And neither grant requires a match. I'd like to pass both together. So that's in the form of a motion.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Items 17 and 18 stand approved. Item 19, this resolution authorizes a grant application to the Internal Revenue Service for income tax assistance. Mr. Buzzard.
Yes, this is a grant for $124,061 to assist Cherokee communities when filing their income tax. This is a match grant, but the match will be used using volunteer and other assistance. I ask for this motion. Make a motion to approve.
Second. Moved in second. And any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 20 is a resolution authorizing a grant application to reduce childhood lead poisoning. Mr. Snell.
Yes, a resolution authorizing the Environmental Program Group to submit an application to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency for a targeted grant to reduce childhood lead poisoning. I would move for its approval.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 21 is a resolution requesting the transfer of certain buildings and grounds to the Cherokee Nation and Trust. Mr. Anglin.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker. This resolution is to authorize the actions necessary to cause the transfer of 4 buildings and 27.3 acres of surrounding grounds at the W.W. Hastings Hospital from the Indian Health Services to the Cherokee Nation in trust status, and I move for its approval.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 22 is a resolution authorizing a grant application for a community service block grant. Mr. Buzzard.
Yes, this is a grant for $452,874 to enhance the capacity of existing services that address the social, physical, economic needs of its citizens and families in the community. I move for its approval.
Second.
Been seconded. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next order of business or announcement. Do we have any announcements this evening? Mr. Garvin.
That's not an announcement, but I'd like to welcome a couple of visitors. Dwight Epperson from Wagner County, Wagner, sitting back here in the corner. And also Delcia and Joe Haley here on the front from Muskogee.
Mr. Anglin.
I'd like to welcome 2 of my grandchildren here, Blake Gardner and Claire Ann Stevens.
What about the one? Did you say
Oh,
Claire?
No, I'm Claire. I didn't want to get chewed out like
Any other announcement? Entertain a motion to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Same sign. We are adjourned. We did it. An hour.